1.8 million Americans are incarcerated in prisons or jails at the end of 2021. Most of these people will be released and re-enter their communities, some to transitional housing and or community supervision upon release, but many will be unprepared for re-entry, the process by which a person in correctional confinement prepares for release and transitions back into the community. Cumulative percentage of state prisoners released in 2008 who had a new arrest conviction or returned to prison after release by a year following release, according to a 2020 report from the Bureau of Justice Statistics. About 66% of persons released from state prisons across 24 states in 2008 were arrested within 3 years after release, and 82% were arrested within 10 years. Reentry programs give people the support they need to successfully return to their communities after incarceration and can greatly improve public safety. These programs can be delivered to a correctional institution or in the community upon release, but effective reentry planning should start long before release. There are different types of reentry programming. The risks and needs of individuals returning home from incarceration are often unique. The programs and services offered to returning individuals should address their critical needs such as housing, employment, family unification, and treatment for substance use, mental, and physical health as necessary. When implementing reentry programming, research supported by the National Institute of Justice found staff buy-in to be a critical factor in the success of the reentry program. It's critical for community corrections staff to implement programs with fidelity and understand the process of the new program and approach their jobs in different ways. This can be challenging for any agency, especially those with limited staff. Read NIJ's 5 Things About Reentry for more information on what is known how to encourage successful reentry based on decades of research and data. For some people, their criminal record can be a barrier to finding stable housing and employment, which increases their risk of committing a new crime. Expungement of past charges, where appropriate, can improve their options in the community and decrease recidivism rates. The Bureau of Justice Assistance supported developing a planned The Bureau of Justice Assistance supported planning a reentry program, a toolkit for tribal communities to support tribal justice system practitioners in creating or enhancing reentry programs. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention developed Reentry Starts Here, a guide for youth in long-term juvenile corrections and treatment programs to help young people prepare for reentry in the community. The guide discusses planning for reentry and explains some of the services available to youth upon release. Starting in 2008, the Second Chance Act authorized federal grants to government agencies and nonprofit organizations to provide reentry services and programs. Second Chance policies aim to remove barriers for reentry for returning citizens and improve their participation in the economy. As a result, Second Chance programs may enhance public safety by breaking the cycle of criminal recidivism and improving outcomes for people returning from prisons, jails, and juvenile facilities. Second Chance grantees supported by OJP provide vital services to make a person's transition from prison or jail safer and more successful. April is Second Chance Month, a time to highlight the importance of supporting safe and successful reentry for those returning home from incarceration each year. Each April, offices across OJP celebrate Second Chance Month with various activities to draw attention to these important programs and policies. The BJA and OJJDP supported National Reentry Resource Center is the nation's primary source of information and guidance on reentry. Through its vast collection of tools and training opportunities, the center supports implementing evidence-based reentry programs. Research and evaluation supported by NIJ covers a wide range of reentry-related issues, including a series of 3 white papers that discuss specific challenges in reentry, an overview of recent NIJ investments in reentry, recommendations for web and application-based tools to facilitate reentry planning, and a recent Justice Today podcast, From Successful Reentry to Stronger Communities. Reentry Services Division mission is to improve public safety by reducing crime, through the implementation of a seamless plan of services through supervision developed with everyone. Services are delivered through state and local collaboration from the time of their entry to prison through their successful transition, reintegration, and aftercare in the community. Our vision is that every person released from prison will have the tools and support needed to succeed in the community. They provide tools and support through the following units. Successful transition starts from the day that an individual arrives at a facility. To identify resource needs to aid in successful transition, specialized staff are housed at each Department of Corrections facility to help. Community coordinators and statewide reentry coordinators provide essential support to local DCS sites, working within their assigned circuits to develop and maintain relationships with service providers and resources. They assist with case management for high-need cases, referring individuals to housing, employment, and mentoring resources when necessary. Using data from assessments, coordinators identify needed resources for returning citizens and incorporate this into comprehensive plans that guide their daily work. Their main functions include capacity building, which involves increasing the number of service providers willing to work with the target population, and direct linkage, ensuring individuals are connected to the appropriate services. Coordinators may become directly involved in cases to ensure proper connections. Additionally, community coordinators lead local steering teams composed of service providers from various specialty areas. These teams meet regularly to discuss and address barriers and service gaps. Statewide reentry coordinators focus on addressing statewide barriers and increasing opportunities that support the successful reintegration of returning citizens into the community. Day reporting centers are community-based programs that are highly structured, non-residential alternatives targeting high-risk, high-need individuals under supervision. Intensive programming targets substance use, mental health, and/or cognitive behavioral issues through counseling, educational programming, and close supervision. DRCs operate in 3 phases: detox, behavior stabilization, sobriety, employment, and aftercare. Phases 1 and 2 are a minimum of 6 months, and Phase 3 is 6 months in duration. DCS currently operates 16 full-size DRCs, which are primarily located in more populated areas, and 19 grant-funded DRCs, which are primarily located in more rural areas. The Forensic Peer Mentor Program, a collaboration with DBHDD and GMHCN, provides peer support to participants in select day reporting centers. Peer mentors act as role models and provide support and assistance to individuals with substance abuse and/or mental health disorders. Education employment specialists assist with identifying resources for individuals that encounter barriers to educational and employment programs with a focus on rural communities. Additionally, they network with community stakeholders to collaborate with DCS and assist in the reentry process. Transitional Housing for Offender Reentry is an online directory of community-based housing options for offenders currently under community supervision. The 2 types of housing facilities contained in the THOR directory are structured housing and recovery residences. The goal of the Reentry Partnership Housing Program is to provide short-term housing assistance to help stabilize current supervise individuals' reentry process to enhance his or her ability to remain crime-free. The Recidivism Reduction Unit provides training, continuous quality improvement, and program fidelity for approximately 160 counselors within DCS field offices and day reporting centers. Training includes basic counselor training, SAMHSA matrix model for substance abuse, moral recognition therapy, specialized mental health training, SAMHSA anger management, matrix, and MRT boosters. Additionally, the RRU offers a counselor recertification preparation program that provides supervision, education, experience, and development to all full-time Department of Community Supervision non-credential counseling staff. The CCP provides the needed requirements to obtain certification as an alcohol and drug counselor through the Alcohol and Drug Counselor Certification Board, and provides support to each of the counselors to ensure they maintain credentialing. So now, on a more personal note, from 2011 to 2016, I staffed the continuum of care in Brevard County and introduced the prison reentry program as a committee of our coalition. A staff member of the Brevard County Housing and Human Services chaired the committee. In 2016, I helped the Continuum then become a nonprofit agency called the Brevard Homeless Coalition. United Way of Brevard provided startup funding in 2019 to a supported organization called My Community Cares as matching funds for a government grant to set up a reentry facility and program in Brevard County. The Reentry Task Force of Brevard had its grand opening in January 2020, but has been in operation since October 2019 and was allocated $500,000 from the state in 2019. The facility has a goal of assisting up to 200 people a year who return to Brevard after being released from prison. Brevard County ranks 11th in the state for ex-felons returning from prison, center organizers said. Susan Kowalski is the Reentry Center coordinator and was one of the original committee members. The Reentry Center of Brevard helps citizens return from incarceration with assistance for successful reentry into our community. This reentry initiative will allow returning citizens access to vital post-release services, including housing, employment, cognitive behavioral intervention, health care, job placement and training, mentoring, and counseling, with the intent of helping them successfully transition back into the community through a continuum of care that will offer returning citizens support to succeed. The Reentry Center portal staff will also contact inmates releasing to Brevard County prior to release to begin the reentry transition planning. The primary outcome of the Reentry Center of Brevard County Reentry Portal is to increase public safety by reducing recidivism. Pre-release programming and services are development of individualized release plan, a review of the driving record and payment plans established with the clerk of court, a review of eligibility for SSDI, SSI, and Social Security for those that qualify. Programming provided include 24/7 support for families, for your family members as they prepare for your release, and cognitive behavioral interventions to help you plan for success. If an out-of-state birth certificate is needed, they can order for you, coordination of housing prior to release, and upon release, a welcome home package that includes work-related clothing, toiletries, bus gas, and your case manager will help you apply for food stamps. Post-release programming and services include development of an individualized release plan if not already completed, transitional housing, a review of driving record and payment, assistance with seeking permanent housing, plans established for you with the clerk of court. Even if you never had a driver's license, they'll help you secure your license with their DS project. DS project works just as the many clients who've been helped to secure valid driver's license. A review of eligibility for SSDI, SSI, and Social Security for those that qualify. And like I said before, programming provided including support for families, for family members, as they assist you after release. Post-release programming also includes healthcare connection to the Brevard Health Alliance, counseling service referrals that are paid for by the Reentry Center of Brevard for substance use disorder and mental health needs, vocational training, GED prep class and GED test, job connections. They schedule and pay for eye exam and glasses up to a certain dollar amount. They provide bus passes. They provide food. They also provide a welcome home package that includes work-related clothing, toiletries, bus pass, and your case manager will help you apply for food stamps. Once employed and you need basic work tools, they may be able to assist with purchasing tools. If a Florida ID, birth certificate, or Social Security card is needed, they'll order them for you. Pastor Jarvis Wash, who heads all this up, is a very impassioned community leader, ecclesiastical visionary, and a trusted friend. I actually met him when he first arrived in Brevard County when I was working for a fundraising agency and at that time managing a very small nonprofit in Eau Gallie. That's before I even became associated with the United Way. Pastor Jarvis Wash is the founder and senior pastor of the Real Church Incorporated, which stands for Reaching, Equipping, Affecting Lives for Christ. He is married to First Lady Eloise Wash, who supports him in the ministry. Wash was born in 1977 in Oakland, California. His mother was a prostitute, ill-equipped for the responsibilities of motherhood. His father was a pimp. This unscrupulous upbringing, marred by criminal activity, not limited to prostitution and drug activity, could have determined Wash's fate. Instead, he used the adverse urban experiences of Oakland to renegotiate his purpose and propel his career to one based on serving and giving back to those in disadvantaged communities. His current desire is not only to win souls for Christ, but to simultaneously assist others with positive personal growth and empowerment, such as identifying job opportunities and resources, as well as continuing education. He has become an esteemed and insightful preacher and teacher of the gospel of Christ. He is a visionary and a results driven leader with a proven track record for promoting organizational growth and establishing partnerships with cohesiveness. His personal philosophy is mission brings on maintenance. He is noted for his effectiveness in outreach. Not only do his immediate parishioners gravitate towards him, but the community does as well. It is often stated that Wash not only pastors the real church, but he pastors the community as well. Since his tenure in Cocoa, he has and continues to act as quarterback, thereby leading and coaching a series of outreach initiatives heavily involved in crime prevention. Wash has a strong passion for protecting families, reducing crime, and supporting at-risk youth. Wash's approach to community engagement has netted him a reputation for being ever vigilant. Always have been, always will be a supporter of Pastor Jarvis Wash. Pastor Wash is the founder and director of the My Community Cares nonprofit agency, which is the parent organization for the Prison Reentry Project.